Hello, YouTube. What if I told you that you, like many others, misunderstand David Goggins? And given in extremes, this misunderstanding can actually lead to negative outcomes. So, give me a few minutes to explain what I mean by that. Maybe you saw that, David Goggins, in his, I don't know, he's probably 50 years of age, he completed some 200-mile race, and that's, of course, first and foremost, just a crazy achievement in his age. But I think what important to understand about David Goggins, that when people see and have the first exposure to David Goggins, they usually see this image of ultra marathoner, of extreme athlete, of someone who is the toughest man alive, and so on and so forth. And I think those are very, of course, important aspects of David Goggins that we all love him for. However, what I want to tell you in this video is the fact that, David Goggins is way much more about, is way much more so deeper than that. If you will, I would go as far as to call him a certain type of existential thinker in modern world. And so if you think about David Goggins, and if you deeply engage with some of his interviews, with his books, he's actually way much more than just about running. He's way much more than just about doing hard things. Because you see, doing hard things without meaning is actually meaningless in a way. Uh, the real message of David Goggins is not just to do hard things, is to do hard things that you deeply connect to. Or in other words, to do hard things that resonate with you and can lead you to a path of greater meaning, and just in general, that just connect to you deeply. And for him, for David Goggins, he had to find this path, and he had to find this meaning in him, which is really important when you think about just consuming information about David Goggins as an extreme athlete. Because once you kind of start copying David Goggins, or just mimicking him, which I assume is quite is very often happens when a person just first exposed to David Goggins and he doesn't really understand the core message behind his I would say life philosophy. It's very easy to get yourself just to basically overextend yourself for nothing, because truth being told, maybe you don't like really running. Maybe it's not something that is for you. Maybe, maybe ultra marathon races. It's not something that you actually want to pursue, but something that you convinced yourself because you saw this image, like the perfect image of David Goggins that you see online in a very I would say curated form, those snippets that you find him on the internet, cursing, running, and so on and so forth. So in this sense, I think it is important to understand David Goggins as someone who really tries to provoke, one can say, your soul. It tries to provoke something in you that can find meaning in this meaningless life, in a way, right? To find something to worth strive for, something to worth existing for. And this is again something, it's not about just running. It's not about just doing, just going to gym and doing hard things. It's more about your, I would say, your inner potential that you need to understand for yourself, because it's something that is very different for, it's very it varies from a person to person, right? It's not something that you can just go and apply to everyone. It's something that you must find within yourself. And in this sense, of course, I feel like David Goggins becomes way much more interesting and influential thinker than most people take him for. Um, so I guess those were my thoughts about David Goggins, because I saw recently, his video finishing this barefoot ultra marathon, and I just read comments, and it was very surprising how many people just have like this, what they call Goggins effect, when they just go run, go to gym. But I think eventually, if you do those things without meaning, they can lose, they can actually lose um, the beauty, and they can lose not even momentum, but I would say they can actually lose meaning if it's not something that truly and deeply resonates with you. So let me know what you think about David Goggins, or what you think about his philosophy in the comments. Please like the video; you would really help this channel to grow, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.